What's poppin', everybody? We are here for week 2. Hell yeah. What's going on, Tylord? Thanks for coming by. Your game's up on the screen. We may as well start there. How have you been today? All right. Let's go ahead and look at this game. We got Tylord versus Smeffelham, week 2. I'm gonna center myself a little bit more in the camera. That should be fine here. Terras. We have Terra Hydreigon, which is steel, and Terra Enamorus, which is also steel. I did watch this game, I think, live, maybe. And I already know what the leads are, because I remember the first turn. So I'll just tell you right now, it was Hydreigon versus Enamorus. So I don't get a guess at this time, but it's fine. Let's go ahead and see. Hydreigon and Enamorus. They're both gonna Terra Steel, and this is how I remember the turn. I was like, oh, it's kind of funny that they both terrestrialized in the same turn into the same type. Gold is in. Well, we have a Mystical Fire. That was a pretty good play by Smeffelham there. Cinderace is now here. Mystical Fire doesn't really care about the special attack drop, so it's fine. Big Lando. Do we see a U-turn? See a Pyro Ball. Not too bad. I mean, damage is damage. For sure. Hydreigon pretty good because it won't get hit by the Earthquake, but there's just rocks instead. Not too bad of a play. Dark Pulse and the Manaphy, who eats. And then we see Stoys coming in to get rid of those rocks, I'm sure. And it'll take a Surf very handily. Very handily. Into the Ninetales. We see a flip turn, actually. Who do we go out to? Hydreigon, maybe? Cinderace. Just pyroballing off, I'm sure. Manaphy is now in. Yep, we see a Pyro Ball. 27's pretty good damage. Not gonna lie. Bax is now in. It's not going to be affected by their Pyro Ball, but instead we see a court change. Very nice. Very nice. Into a U-turn. Are we going to see maybe Stoys? Hydreigon instead. Cannot get hit by the Earthquake and won't be taking too much from the Scale Shot because of the Steel type. But now he's fast. Goes out into Slowking. We're gonna see, we see a Draco. Slowking takes it pretty decently. Out into Gold. What does Slowking do here? Sludge Bomb. That's a very... Why? Why did you Sludge Bomb? Salac Berry sub. That's pretty good. Into a Flamethrower. Does Shadow Ball kill? It does kill. Awesome. Great for Tylord here. Into the Manaphy. It's probably going to be able to tank whatever Gold wants to go for. Another Shadow Ball. Must not have brought T-Wave. Not T-Wave, Thunderbolt. Manaphy kills it, and then Big Rabska's in. Oh, I remember this thing. Get ready. Calm Minds on the Ninetales switch. Aurora Veils up, and then we see another Calm Mind. Probably because whatever Ninetales wants to do to the Rabska is going to be pretty minimal. Big Lando is now in on the Power Gem, which is doing a quarter, which is half of what Lando had. Not bad. U-turns out into the Manaphy, gets hit by the rocks, into an energy ball, knocking it out. Awesome. Chipped the Lando, got rid of the Manaphy. Into the backs. I think this thing is going to be able to kill Rabsca. Possibly. Clicks Dragon Dance, Power Gem, almost takes out the Baxcalibur. Into a Scale Shot. Does this take out Rabsca? It does, but it did quite a bit. It killed the Manaphy, it chipped down the Lando, and now Bax dies to priority. I was expecting Blastoise to come out with an Aqua Jet here, honestly, but just takes the Scale Shot and fires it back with a Flash Cannon. Taking down the Baxcalibur. Pretty good. Pretty decent. Now Smef has to figure out how to take out the rest of Tylord's Mons with the 2 Genies and the Ninetales. Does it with the Blastoise. What do we see coming in next? Cinderace is in, ready for just Pyroballing. Lando's Intimidate won't do anything to save it because of the HP it's at right now. The Ninetales goes down, so does the Veil. We'll see Cinderace probably pop off with another... Okay, we actually see a Hydreigon switch here. Into a U-turn. I wonder if Pyroballing would... I think Pyroballing would have been okay. Enamorus holding the boots. Clicks the Dark Pulse for pretty good damage, but then the Mystical Fire happens and knocks out the Hydreigon. Yikes. Tox is in now. We see a Healing Wish, which will put Lando all the way back up to full. Tox clicks the Shift Gear. Intimidate happens. Hopefully Toxtricity wasn't mixed. Doesn't matter because Boom Burst one-hit KOs because it's a freaking Toxtricity. And that is the end of the game. Fantastic work by Tylord. Smef had some good prep as well with the Veil. That was pretty good Veil work for sure. The play at the beginning with the Mystical Fire was nice. And that's all I have to say really about that. Big Rapsca is doing some big Rapsca stuff. You don't really expect that. I'm going to go to a Dusk game. We'll do this one. And if anybody is just lurking out there, just chilling, and you want to see your game, just let me know. We will pop it up. We got Not Quite Cause versus Human Being. The Scary Espathra team versus Roaring Moon. Ninetales, we have a Chlorophyll Blossom, I'm sure. And I think it gets Quiver Dance. So that will be something for sure. Synthesis Comfey is nice because it'll just heal up all the damage it's taken with priority triage. Pretty decent. Terra's here is Terra Steel, Roaring Moon, it looks like. Terra Fire on Blossom as well. And then we have Terra Fire on the Espathra. And anything else is Stab if it's even there. What do I think we're leading here? I could see Lycanroc leading, Mamoswine leading to get off some... this thing would get off a Cellrock, possibly. I could see you leading with the first impression, but over here, I'm thinking it's going to either be Gliscor to get off that Toxic Orb, or it's going to be Ninetales to start the drought. I don't remember. I think Mamoswine covers both of those pretty well. So I'm going to go Gliscor and Mamoswine. That's what I'm thinking here. Jirachi and Greninja. Alright, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. We see... That was going way too fast. I don't know why it was on medium. But now Comfey switch on the Toxic Spikes. Notice that Human Being does not have a poison type on this team. So these Toxic Spikes are probably here to stay. I don't see removal. I don't know if Gliscor gets Defog anymore. Comfey might, but I don't quite remember. So there's a chance that this Toxic Spike is just here to stay, which is kind of pretty good for Cause. Giga Drain, kill after a Calm Mind. I don't know why Cause stayed in there, but he did. Big Mammo's now here. We see another Giga Drain just wasting the Mammospine. Very interesting. I'm sure it's all part of the plan. Alright, Skyman is in. We see a Draining Kiss doing just about half. I don't know if that's EV'd or not. Seed Flare miss. You hate to see it. And then again. Bro. Okay, I thought it was Calm Mind. For some reason, it's Growth, actually. But Draining Kiss kills the Skyman now after the awful, awful misses. I hate inaccurate moves. And now we see Espathra Terrifier to resist the Draining Kiss. I'm sure that was absolutely needed. We see a Calm Mind here that'll help as well. And it's going to get the speed boost here after the leftovers. Okay. See another Calm Mind. What does the Comfey do? Stored Power almost takes out the Espathra. Draining Kiss is definitely going to be able to take it out, I think. Barely misses out on the KO. We see a Roost. So you are a Roost. CM Roost, probably Stored Power yourself, and then Terra Blast possibly. I mean, it's good here and good here, but not really anywhere else, so it's probably D-Gleam, to be honest. It's Terra Blast, okay. Interesting. Stored Power does not take out the Espathra. We're probably going to see a Draining Kiss here from the Comfey. We don't, and the crit Terra Blast takes it out. That was an incredible showing by the Comfey, taking out half of the team all on its own and almost taking out a fourth. Gliscor is now in. Takes the Terra Blast handily. Fling. Why didn't you just Quake? What? I think you threw there, my guy. Terra Blast will take out the Gliscor. Should have just Quaked here. Blossom is now here. Roosts off that damage. Giga Drain's not doing anything to this fire type, because that's how typing works. Terra Blast will take out the Blossom. Because of course it does. What do we see here now? Ninetales. It's going to be able to resist the fire move here. And then I don't know what you're going to hit back with. Encoring into Terra Blast? That's not bad. Wouldn't have been in this situation though if you just Earthquaked the fire type that was in front of you. Will-O-Wisps, just in case there's a switch, I guess, but there's no reason to switch the Espathra out. Alright, it's 2-on-2. One side has a T-Spike, the other side doesn't. Roaring Moon and Slitherwing are in. Getting off their photosynthesis. Do we see a first impression? Terra Steel into a U-turn. Okay, so clearly he predicted. We see a CC, which super crits the Jirachi. God damn. Alright. Crazy. Will we be able to see the same thing here? We actually see a switch to Greninja on an Outrage. Okay. I don't know if Slitherwing's going to be able to take this. Outrage kills the Slitherwing. And that's GG to these two. Human, you're gonna have to explain this fling play, bro. You're gonna have to explain that, because this Comfey was tearing Kaz apart. And then you decided to use Fling Toxic Orb against the Espathra, which would have been dead to Earthquake. You could have had a better diff here if you just, you did that. But instead, you decided to play differently and sack your guys to crazy Espathra. But, I mean, you got the win regardless, so good for you. I'm confused. I'm confused. Alright. Let's go to a midday game. We could get mine out of the way. It's me versus egotistical Elekid. I think we played once before and he won. Win is a win, I guess. Hey, Bart. We can actually go to you. Where are you? You're in here somewhere. I know it. There we go. Against DRVR79. Who is my opponent this week, so I'll have to take some notes here. We have Terra Poison on the Garchomp. And if anything else is Terra, then it's Stab. And then we have Terra Normal on the Salamence, which is very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know what Terra Normal is going to do. Because this isn't a Dragonite with the E-Speed. And it doesn't Boom Burst. But I guess we will have to see. The leads. It's probably going to be Meow, but I could also see Sandy Shocks. And it's going to be Garchomp, I'm sure. So Garchomp and Meow, I think. Let's see. Kilowattrel, never mind. 1,000 Wattrels. Versus Meow, I got one. Big U-turn. Does a lot into Intimidate Overquill, very nice. Power Gem Tech for the Kilowattrel, not bad. I feel like Triple Axle would probably be better, but to each their own. Unless that was for the bundle. That could be for the bundle. Because I think its Spadef is really bad. Throat Chop. Doing quite a bit to the Empoleon, but we see a Rocky Helmet. Okay. Into Serena. Roost up. Makes sense, makes sense. Into a Power Whip, which does hit. Alright, Flip turning out into, what, Meow maybe? Scream Tail, okay. I wonder what this thing's going to be doing. Ooh, we missed the Power Whip here. Into a Stealth Rock. Okay, well, I mean, the spinner's out, so I'm confused. Unless he doesn't have spin. Salamence is now in. Maybe that was a, maybe he's trying to make the Serena stay in, but now it's back. Into a Draco. So this is probably just regular special, not regular special, but just special Salamence. And the rocks seem to be here to stay now. Let's Kilowattrel has Defog, and I don't know if it gets it. Big Valiant is in, and now we have Scream Tail, 2 fairies. Crit on the Moonblast. I wonder if this thing's physically defensive. And then a Shadow Ball. Alright. Sandy Shocks is now in. We see a Garchomp. Makes sense to take the electric move. We see a Flash Cannon. It also takes the Flash Cannon. There's also a Spadef drop, which isn't great. But I guess it doesn't matter because Shocks is now gone. Missed your game, dude. You were... Bro, you were here. Where did you go? You were the first one in. Oh, man. Damn it, Tylord. We see Blastoise and another Dragon type with Outrage. Shell Smash Blastoise, that's gonna be a problem. We got the White Herb as well. Ice Beams here. I don't know if a Vacuum Wave from Valiant's gonna be enough. Kilowattrel's in. Air Slash. Okay, so guy's probably Scarf. No. Doesn't have to necessarily be Scarf. I don't know what your speed is with the Shell Smash. It's going to be almost 600, so Kilowattrel is probably Scarf. Which is why Empoleon was pretty safe to go into, because it's not going to be able to use electric attacks. Hey, Blaze, welcome. Overquill comes in to take whatever. Ooh, competitive boost. Oh, no. Oh, no. Kilowattrel's back, ready to click an electric move. We see Thunderbolt, not able to take out the Empoleon. But Surf takes it out. Valiant is back in. I don't know what this thing can do to the Empoleon. Clicks Knock, that's fair enough. No more Helmet. Now it's either Salamence or the Meow. We see Meow coming in. Vacuum Wave takes out Meow. Very nice bring. And now Salamence is here. What is it wanting to do? Terra Normal. See Moonblast, not taking out the Salamence. And goes for Facade. Alright, I guess you prepped for like Will-O-Wisp or something. Not bad. And then we see Bundle is in. It's going to definitely be able to outspeed the Salamence no matter what. Ice Beam will take it out with a crit. Pretty close game. Pretty close game. The competitive got me worried a little bit. Got me worried a little bit. I liked the Scarf Kilowattrel. It definitely caught him off, or caught him by surprise for sure. A fantastic job to Bart. Alright, Blaze, since you're here. Where's your game? That's not you. Blaze versus Cryptidana. Big Scary Qianpao versus the Palafin Sand team. Terra Fairy on the Darkrai. And I think that's probably all. And Anna has Terra Fighting on the Raging Bolt. What are we thinking for leads here? What are we thinking for leads? I mean, if you see a Palafin, that's, you should always kind of expect that to start because it wants its form as fast as possible. Jesus, I can't speak. But T-Tar is also not too bad to get up that sand if you want. Maybe even Infernape to predict the Chien lead, but I don't think Qianpao's leading. Fez might not be a bad lead, because I don't see Blaze leading Excadrill. But also Fortress of Hazard Stack doesn't look bad, especially since the only way to remove the hazards is Excadrill. That thing can get whittled down pretty easy. I think it's going to be Fez Palafin. Let's see. Infernape, okay. Into Fortress. Ooh, bad lead by Cryptid. We see Vaporeon coming in. Flamethrower. So we got a special Infernape, which is pretty good because it got Vacuum Wave. T-Tar is now in. We see the Sand. Flip turning into whom? That's not Infernape. Ooh. I see. I see. That was big Zoroark. I see. Alright, we see some Stealth Rocks coming up. Into a T-Spike. There's no Poison type on Blaze's team, which means unless Drill can come in and spin, those things are here to stay. We see a spin here into a Roar. What are we roaring into? The Vaporeon. Alright. Flip turning into... who? Fortress? Infernape never hits the field. Okay. Stealth Rock again. We're probably going to see another spin. Into Drill. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's a good way to get it in. I don't know if we go Earthquake here, if we try to spin ourselves. Spinning. Alright. Makes sense. I don't think this was a T-Spiker, was it? It was. And takes a big damage from Body Press. Big damage. Alright, we see Infernape is back. Ah, Zoro. And a Vaporeon. Do we see a U-turn here, maybe? A Hyper Voice, which does big damage to Vaporeon. Good lord. Corv is in. Another Hyper Voice. Pretty okay damage. Alright, so he's clearly choiced. Otherwise, we'd see a Flamethrower there. Brave Bird into Tyranitar. Not doing too much. What do we see next? Fortress is now in into maybe Rocks. Yep. There it is. We'll probably see a spin here. T-Spikes, actually, but we already know what this is. Shadow Ball. Big damage. And a spin. You're really getting there with the Zoroark switches. Another Shadow Ball. We see some pretty decent damage. So the choice item is probably Specs. Another one trying to get that drop, maybe? Into a Roost. Shadow Ball again. Play Rough missing. Yikes. That is pretty not good, if I do say so myself. See another Shadow Ball. We get the drop. And then we see a Roost here. Alright, Corv is now in. It doesn't look like Anna really has a switch into Shadow Ball. Big damage. I mean, Qianpao resists, but it's also Qianpao. You're not really trying to switch this thing in. Shadow Ball again, takes out the Corv. So these rocks are probably here to stay unless this thing's boots, and it's not. Fez is in again. We see another Shadow Ball. Into a Roost. I don't know what the plan here is for the Infernape. Shadow Balls again. Fez did not bring his glasses to the game. Fez needs to update that prescription. Crit Shadow Ball takes it out. Now Big Qianpao is in, and Zoroark can't stay here. It can't. Crunch. I mean, it did a pretty decent job, so. Great work, Zoroark. Cheetar is now here. What do we see here? A switch out to Fortress. Probably an Earthquake or something. A Body Press. That makes sense, too. And those rocks are now here to stay. Whereas Blaze still has a chance to get rid of the Toxic Spikes if he can get in Drill. Sacred Sword takes out the Tyranitar through the Chople Berry. But now Drill can come out because of the Sand Rush. And just to do something. Sacred Sword outspeeds the Drill. So this thing is likely choiced in some fashion. But didn't we see it use different attacks? No. So you're probably Scarf specifically for this Drill. Okay. That makes some sense. Darkrai is in. The T-Spikes are now here to stay, so we Blaze got to play around that. We see Boots Vaporeon into Terra Fairy. Terra Blast takes out the Vaporeon. And actually, Terra Blast is pretty good coverage into the remaining members of Anna's team. Alright, Scarf Guy is in. See a Palafin switch. Psychic Fangs. Very interesting. Into a Jet Punch. Baby Palafin Jet Punch. Let's go. And now it's Raging Bolt, who has not hit the field once. We don't see a Proto. We see a Thunderclap, though. Getting rid of this Palafin. And now Darkrai's in. Thunderclaps barely misses out on that KO, and Terra Blast will take out the Raging Bolt. Very good game to Blaze and Anna. Fezandipity was not bringing his A game here. The Zoroark was going pretty crazy, though. Yeah, that was a very enjoyable game. Alright. I think we can go back to midnight. I don't know if Pivot's gonna come out. He might not. We'll go this one, actually. Lies of J versus KJ. The Battle of the J's. Terras are flying on the Minior, maybe? I don't know if that thing is naturally flying type Terra, but they're all stab. And then KJ has Terra Electric on the Alolan Sandslash. I could see Garchomp leading for KJ. Or Torn. I see a Samurott, and I almost always think it's going to be leading. Getting off those ceaseless edges is pretty good. So it's probably going to be... Yeah, I'll lock in Samurott and Torn. Let's see it. Let's run it. Samurott and Torn. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Focus Miss. Turn 1 Focus Miss into the Ceaseless Edge. That is not good for KJ. Super effective U-turn right into the Garchomp, who will be able to damage the Samurott, at least with residual rough skin, or we just miss the Ceaseless Edge. That works too. That works too. See a switch into Moltres. What is this thing wanting to do? Sets up the rocks. I don't think Moltres gets defog anymore. Maybe. Stone Edge. Moltres lives. And we see a Willow. So now this Garchomp is quite neutered. In exchange for probably Moltres' life. Stone Edge misses. We're seeing a lot of misses. That's pretty good for Jay over here. No, sir, Infernapes have hit the field. Yeah, his air quotes. Welcome, Jester. We have a Dragon Tail into the Gardevoir. Slowking is now in. What do we see this Gardevoir wanting to do? Psychic Noise, so no healing from leftovers. I don't know if that works on Regenerator, though. I have no idea. Draining Kisses here. We'll probably see a Chili. Yep. And once it comes in, we'll be able to tell if that works on Regenerator or not. I'm interested. Sandslash is in. It's ready to click that Iron Head. But Moltres is here instead. Terra Electric. Do we see a Terra Blast? An Iron Head instead. Okay. There's a chance of burn. Doesn't get it. They switch out into Mamoswine. We'll probably see a Terra Electric. Yep. Nicely switched in. Ironhead's here. Mamoswine lives and probably hits back with a... Ooh, nope. Never mind. We flinch. That flinch saved us Sandslash's life, though. Ironhead kills the Mamo. What do we see here now? Maybe the Zama? Yep, there it is. Big Zama's in. Defense boost. Switch out into Garchomp. Do we see an Iron Defense here? Just a regular body press. Doing some okay damage. I don't know what Earthquake's gonna be able to do here. And we will never find out because it's now gone. Pretty decent. We see Torn is back. Gardevoir is now in. Traces Regenerator, which is pretty good. Focus miss again, bro. Don't run that anymore. U-turns into probably what, Annihilate? No, we see Slowking instead. That makes sense too. Calm Mind. Okay. What do we see this Gardevoir wanting to do? Psychic Noise again. So it looks like it doesn't work on Regenerator. We see a Chili back into the Sandslash, who is ready to click that Iron Head. Switch out into Moltres, who is wearing the boots. Iron Head, and no burn again. So KJ is... Okay, Terra Blast gets this thing down. KJ is trading Focus Misses for no burns. Unless he's wearing the pads. But I think he's actually Life Orb. Aqua Jet into the Terra Blast, taking out the Samurai. Pretty good. Into the Life Orb, I'd say that's well worth it. Slowking is now in. Against the Gardevoir, which is pretty good for KJ considering this is a switch into it. See a Calm Mind. Into a T-Wave miss. That's rough. That 10%. Draining Kiss, doing some decent damage here. We're probably going to see another T-Wave. Yep. We could see a Chili here. I think it still works in the snow. Barely misses on that KO. And Slowking will be able to get all that HP back. We see Annihilate is now in. You can click that Rage Fist pretty freely. Bulk Up is good too. Maybe he's got the Resist Berry. Draining Kiss, that will power up the Rage Fist. We see a Rest. Okay, Resto Chesto, seems like. Paralyzed Gardevoir, that's rough. And now this Rage Fist is going to take out the Gardevoir. It's base 100 now. And then Zama's in. See an Iron Defense, that's a pretty good idea. Drain Punch still does quite a bit of damage. Takes nothing from that play rough. Gets back all that HP. Well, not all of it, but pretty decent amount. We see another play rough. This Rage Fist is now at 600 billion. See another play rough. This thing is just about dead. We see the Rest here. Looks like KJ misclicked. You guys can't see the chat, but I can. Minior is now in. We see the Shield's down. We'll probably see a Shell Smash here. Terra Flying as well. And do a Shell Smash. Figured. I mean, this is a perfect time to do it. This Annihilate is asleep. Terra Blast takes out the Annihilate. What do we see KJ trying to do here? We see a Terrapagos who is wearing the boots. Terra Shell is helping quite a bit. Into a Terra Starstorm, which is barely going to miss that on that KO against the Minior. Shield's down, making it just even stronger. Hey, Bennett, welcome. Doing pretty good, my man. How are you? We have the Torn getting taken down by the Power Gem. And then Slowking is in. Into the Terra Blast. So that rest definitely screwed up KJ, because otherwise he might have won that. Because this Annihilate was doing some work. Sucks about the Torn, but, I mean, the Sand Slash was not getting burned, so I think that evens out. Pretty good game. Jester TV, are you in this league by chance? Did you guys hear my cat? He likes to scream. I live stream, he live screams. While we wait for Jester's answer, since Bennett has popped in, we can take a look at his game versus Oremedy. We have Terra Fairy on the Dragonite. And then Oremedy has Terra Fairy on the Mandibuzz. Actually, it's just a bunch of random-ass Terras for some reason. So I don't know what his Terra is. Awesome. I could see a Swampert start. You might not want to put this on slow. Oh man, is this a long game? I mean, I can always change it later. I don't know. Terra Ursaluna, okay. So Ursaluna's Fairy. I'm thinking Swampert and probably Petulant. I don't know. Empoleon, alright. That works too. And it's Tinglu, alright. I didn't really think about it too much. Flip turns, I knew there'd be a flip turn start. I should be able to get a point there. Into the Shaman. Stealth Rock, not too bad of a start. Tinglu does what Tinglu does. Now into Tinkaton. Hit the Seed Flare, getting rid of the balloon instantly. Knocks off the boots. No more boots for Shaman. Earth Power, Tinkaton takes it pretty well. This thing is bulky. And the Mandibuzz, this thing's going to take the Earth Power even better. Takes the Seed Flare pretty good too. Petulant is now in, ready to click that parting shot. We see a U-turn first. Probably out into Ursaluna. And into Dragapult, actually. Just kidding. That's what I meant to say, of course. Clicks that protect. Shadow Ball's not going to hit through. We see Empoleon is now in. Takes the Shadow Ball okay. It's a good amount of damage. Tinglu is in. We see a Roost. Figured. That's something you could definitely just risk the damage for, since you can heal. Flip turning into the Shaman, probably. There it is. Into some spikes. Into an Earthquake, actually. Chip is chip. You see Mandibuzz. Does Bennett reply with... Nope. Okay, Synth. Not bad. Petulant is back. Foul Play is going to do a bit of damage here. U-turns into probably the Pult. Tinglu, actually. Okay. Malignant Chain. Do we get the Toxic? Yes. And then the and then the Confusion. And to recover, maybe Tinglu will hit itself. Does. Now what do we see? Another Malignant Chain, I suppose, just in case there's a switch. I will be right back. I need to blow my nose. I'm not going to put the screen up because it's not going to take very long. Will we see any more? Will we see any progress? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Mandibuzz is now in. We see another Malignant. We see a Recover instead. That will play into Parting Shot. Getting out what? The Qianpao. Okay, so we're going to start clicking the Ice Spinner, probably. There it is, doing some big damage. Probably going to see Foul Play. I was thinking either that or Roost. Getting some good chip here into the Tinkaton. I don't know how well you're going to take this Ice Spinner. Not very well. But takes the boots into a Fake Out. Okay. Into another spinner. Tinkaton takes Qianpao's Tims with her. Swampert's now in. I don't know. Yeah, okay, we see a switch to Shaman. I was going to say, I don't know if this the Qianpao's going to do too much to it. Flip turns into Dragapult. What is Pult wanting to do to this thing here? Switches into Empoleon. We're probably going to see a Shadow Ball again. We see a Draco, actually. So Empoleon does a pretty good switch here. See a switch into Tinglu. We're probably going to see a flip turn. Yep. Qianpao comes in, takes that residual damage from the rocks. Going to be able to Ice Spinner everything on the team. I don't think anybody really wants to take it. So look at this. Look at this. We got weak to ice, weak to ice, weak to ice, weak to ice, neutral to ice, and resists, but doesn't really thanks to the Swords of Ruin. But it's unfortunate that for Bennett that this thing is so low, because any type of if any of these guys take one, then Qianpao's done. I think Swampert probably takes one. Flip turning on the Shaman switch. We have Pult back in. Probably going to click that Shadow Ball. Empoleon is in again. We see the Empoleon is holding the boots. Takes a Shadow Ball pretty well. Switching into the Mandibuzz for a sack. We see a Roost, actually. You could fish for the competitive boost for sure, but I don't know if that was the best use of the time you have. Ice Beam's on the Roost, so not super effective. And we see a flip turn on another Roost into the Pecharunt, probably trying to get off some Malignant Chains. Yep, there it is. Got a big crit. Crit Toxic Confuse. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Mandibuzz is able to break out of the confusion for the turn and clicks U-turn. Into the Pult, where we see a Recover. Okay. Hex would have been huge. But we want to keep this thing healthy. Shadow Ball Protect. Into the Empoleon. Alright. We see a Mandibuzz switch. Do we see an Ice Beam? We see a Roost instead. Alright. We are playing the game of Semi-Stall. Sets up the rocks. So now there is an even field of rocks. Just kidding. There's a Defog into the competitive boost. And we're at full. Alright. Now this Empoleon can start doing some damage. Foul Play, not going to do too much. We see a Stealth Rock again because this Mandibuzz is dead after the Toxic. Now these rocks are up for good. And we are +2 on the Empoleon. Swampert's in. Any damage on this thing is going to be good. Goes out to the Shaman instead to take the Earthquake, which is just fine. Pult is now in. What does Shaman do here? Seed Flares hits. Do we get the drop? There is a drop. See Empoleon coming back in to take whatever move. See a U-turn into Swampert probably. There it is. I wonder if we'll see a flip turn on the Shaman turn. We see a Roost here. And then Ice Beam. Probably to predict the Shaman for sure. And now it's in. We see a Quake. Not looking good for a Remedy here. An Ice Beam. Shaman takes it pretty good. And then Seed Flare destroys the Swampert. Now it's down to his last two. See Dragapult coming in. We're probably going to see an Empoleon switch. There it is. And Empoleon's pretty healthy. Taking a Draco like it's nothing. Then we see Ursaluna. Do we see an Ice Beam? We see a Flip Turn, actually. Probably into the... No, we don't want to go Chien-Pao yet, because this thing's definitely packing the Vacuum Wave. Which is good, because Screamtail's out. See a Protect, trying to... Ooh, Calm Mind. I was going to say trying to bait out the Blood Moon. Encore's into Calm Mind. Nasty stuff. Nasty stuff. Switching out into the Chien-Pao, which is going to be able to freely click that Ice Spinner. The Encore is not done yet. Does not take out Ursaluna. Clicks Calm Mind again, because it has to. Is Encore over? Encore is over. So now you are facing a +4. Oh, you got the Ice Shard just for this. That is some nice tech. Indapult, who is in Ice Shard range, brings the sucker too. Okay. Okay. Very nicely done, Bennett. It is a clean 6-0. And by clean, I mean there's definitely some dirt in here to make that happen. Because Pecharunt is just a dirty Pokemon. Competitive boost was sick. You couldn't use it to your advantage, but honestly, it was better to not try to do that. For sure. Using boosted Pokemon just because they're boosted is definitely a noob trap type of thing. Nicely, nicely done. Alright, unless someone else chimes in, we're going to go into mine. It is... myself versus Egotistical Elekid. He's got his Terrifier, Ogerpon, Hearthflame, which was something that was very, very scary to try to prep for. And I brought Terrifier Latios. Shout out to Tylord for the suggestion. Back-to-back 6-0 is feeling good. Not happening week 3 though. Damn. I mean, you can't get them all, I suppose. I mean, you can at least try to win. You're tearing it up, though. It's pretty good. But the Latios Terrifier is to help against the dude guy, the Ogerpon. I don't remember what the leads were. I think I led Tinglu. Just in case of leading Ogerpon. I think that's what happened. This is a fire game. Hell yeah. Let's go. We go Klefki first. Into the Tinglucas. Clicks that Reflect, because that's what Klefki does. I just start off with the rocks, because it's what this thing does. See some hazard stacking on Elekid as well. Ruination, because that's going to get through the screen. Another Spike. Ruination. At this point, I'm fairly sure he's in Earthquake range. Ogerpon is in. Mold Breaker. I do click the Quake, takes it pretty handily, but the chip is chip. Horn Leech eats my Rindo Berry. I Whirlwind this thing out to the Slowking, which I can just click Ruination on, so that's not bad. Yep, takes that big damage. He probably tries to Chili. Yeah. I don't remember every turn. I just remember my Tinglu is out for a while. Ogerpon's back in, taking that chip. I just go Latios because I do not want to risk my Tinglu. Terrifier. Also, I didn't know really what the switch. Horn Leech does quite a bit of damage. I probably switch. He switches into Terapagos. I Luster Purge because I want to do some damage here at least. Breaking the shell is good. And now he is got a special defense lower. I always go Annihilate here because I do not want him spinning. But he calls that, I guess, into a Dazzling Gleam, which in hindsight, of course he clicks the fairy move into the dragon. But I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about spin. I need to get that HP back, so I'm clicking that Drain Punch. I think he clicks the Dazzling Gleam again, yeah. Makes sense. Here's a big play. Here's a big play, because I did not want this thing coming in for free. Rage Fist, boom. Threat neutralized. When that happened, I was like, oh, sweet. I got the read. I got it. Because I've been clicking Drain Punch, so I figured he'd think that. And then it worked out. Oh, that was big. If I didn't get that right, I think this game would have been a lot worse for me. Torn is in. I go out into my Electros, which is dedicated for this Torn Assault Vest. Into the Slow King. I don't remember what I do here. Do I just click the knock? Click the Supercell Slam, which does quite a bit to the Slow King, so this thing is clearly Spidef. Into the U-turn, which kills this thing. I didn't think about it. I probably should have just clicked the knock. So I forgot that I switch into something, but it's fine because the Glamora actually helps me out quite a bit here. You see Klefki clicks Reflect. I click the Earth Power just to get rid of this thing. I don't want it around anymore. The screens are annoying. I don't want any more spikes. And Torn is now in. I am a bulky Glamora. I click the Mortal Spin, getting rid of all of the hazards. And I notice this guy is slow, which is very odd. I didn't expect that at all. But as I said, I'm bulky. I'm like max HP or something with some speed for Terapagos. I think I have like 12 special attacks, EVs or something. But it works out because I get up my Reflect. I figured if I'm going to die this turn, I may as well get up my screen, which will help me against the Terapagos. It seemed like a great idea. And then that goes down. I didn't have a rock move or anything. I was Reflect, Mortal Spin, Earth Power, and I wasn't a Spike. I think it was a Poison move for this guy here. Electros is in, which is a dedicated Torn guy. Takes nothing from the Psychic. Hits it with a Supercell Slam, blowing this thing up. Electros was crazy this game. Terapagos is in. Clicks the Dazzling Gleam instead of spinning to get rid of the hazards. Knocks off. Should have clicked the Supercell Slam there, but it's fine. He clicks the spin here. No big deal. Get off the slam. Gets rid of the Terapagos. Hey, Fenrir, welcome. We can go to your game next. And now it's Big Terapagos versus the rest of my guys. We see a Hornleech getting rid of the Electros, which is completely fine. Then Eladios is in. These guys speed tie. Ivy Cudgel is not enough thanks to the Reflect. Draco Meteor pops this thing like a balloon. And that is the game. Great game too, Elekid here. This thing was scary. I believe he was Agility Weakness Policy on Torn, which is very interesting. Annihilate did some work. This Electros was crazy. And Tinglu was very, very good in the early game to whittle everything down here and get up the rocks, which stayed around until pretty much the end of the game, which was pretty dope. Hopefully I can do something like that again. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. Alright, where's Fenrir's game? There we go. Versus Jack Skellington, I think this is. Terra Steel on the Gouging Fire. And that looks to be all, while Fenrir has Terra Fairy Volk. Leads are Kirima's a pretty good bring into the snow. For sure. I want to say Ninetales, but I mean, Claude leads pretty good into that. The Gouging Fire could take advantage of the ice type in front of it. I can see Torn lead. But I mean, Veil's pretty good. I think Torn Clawed. I'm ready to be absolutely wrong. Big Kirim. And Iron Treads. I knew I'd be wrong. You see a Volt Switch. What are we going to try to get in against this guy? You see Ninetales setting up the snow. See Ice Beam. Takes it pretty okay. Do we see Veil or do we see Moonblast? We see Claude. Baton passing instead into Treads. Very interesting. Try to get off for the Earthquake. Makes sense. There is no ground resist on Jack's team, so Earthquake is free. Kirim is in. Ninetales comes in to take the Ice Beam pretty okay. Do we see the Veil here, I wonder? It's just Moonblasts instead, getting off some chip before going down to the next Ice Beam. That's respectable. We see Iron Treads coming back in. You can click the... Yep, clicks the Earthquake, which the Kirim is for sure in range. Cinderace is now in. Are you Scarf? Yep, Scarf Earthquake. Scarf Earthquake is probably going to just win you the game. Clicks Reflect. I don't think it's going to save you. It might save the gouging if you can get it in. Clicks the light screen on the last turn. It might have been better to chip down the Treads, but who knows. Gouging Fire is in. He's Terra Steel, which unfortunately is not going to help against the Earthquake. Earthquake does some pretty decent damage. We see a Raging Fury. Very interesting. Into another Earthquake, taking gouging down to 15%. Raging Fury again. I mean, Treads did a ton, so it can definitely go down. Slowking is now in. We see Terra Steel. Terra Blast. Okay, I don't know why. See a Scald. Doesn't go down because of the Terra. Confusion is ended. We see a Burning Bulwark. You are just running your screens out by doing that, so I don't know why. Earthquake does absolutely nothing in the face of a Scald, which takes it down. And now it is King Gambit versus the World. Behind some screens, so at least there's that. Sucker Punch barely misses out on the Slowking. Flamethrower, doing some chip, no burn. No more Reflect, so that's not good against the Sneasler. Sucker Punch, we probably see a Chili here. See a Thunder Wave, which is also pretty good. Sucker Punch doesn't hit. Goes out to clicks that Chili button. Honestly, I don't know, unless you just didn't bring Kowtow Cleave. You should have probably been clicking that, because then you wouldn't have gotten Thunder Waved. And then he wouldn't have gotten the Vulcan. So that would have been an extra kill at least. See Quiver Dance just in case of a Sucker Punch. Paralyzed, yikes. Maybe he Iron-Headed, expecting the Terra Fairy for whatever reason. Another Quiver. Into a Kowtow, almost killing the Volk. So he could just run out the rest of his suckers here if he wants to, but I think he's just going to click Quiver. Probably like 4 more times. Terra Fairy. Fiery Dance is going to take out the King Gambit. Nicely done to Fenrir. I liked the Baton Pass here. Scarf Earthquake went brazy. I think you should have probably set up the rocks with this Claude here. Because then you would have had to, then treads would have been locked into rapid spin, and at that point you could have probably done some good damage with like your own earthquake or something. I don't know, there's just some things that I was like, why did you do that over here? But it's okay. We don't know what's good until we try it, and I think that was a good attempt by Jack Skellington. Alright, what do we got left? Dusk has 1, 2, 3 games. We have 1, 2 games in Midnight. And it looks like 3 games in Midday. We just saw a Dusk game, so I'm probably gonna pick a Midday game, then go to a Dusk game, and then go like Midnight. And then just go down to the last 2. If you have not liked the stream already, please go ahead and do so. And subscribe if you would like. I'm at 150 subscribers, and I would really like to hit 200 by the end of the year. That would be really, really cool. I thought for a second Stish only brought 4 guys, but Palathin and Floor just are invisible. We'll watch Jeremy versus Maya, I suppose. If I were just to pick a random game. Nah. We can save this, because I think these 2 are both EST or something, so there's a chance they pop up. Whereas Fabian King is like GMT +3 or something, so probably won't be popping up here. David versus Fabian King. We have Terra Water on the Ogre Pawn, maybe, unless you can't change it. I don't think you can. But there's a chance he is Terra Water. And then there's a Terra Fighting Mismagius. Versus random Terras again. So I guess we'll find out what his Terra Pokemon is once it gets thrown out. What do we think the leads will be here? I mean, I really like a Gyarados lead. I like Scarf U-turn. Scarf Earthquake is decent too. I mean, the only thing that it that resists it on this team is this Rotom. But there's also Scarf Knockoff you could do. I'm rating this Zapdos lead pretty highly. I don't know, maybe Clefable? Because Clefable can take anything that the Zapdos wants to dish out and then hit it back with a Moonblast. I'm going to go ahead and say that. Clefable and Zapdos. Iron Treads is just kidding. Into the Rotom. Alright. See a Knockoff. Gets rid of the berry, does quite a bit of damage. Into a Mist Will-O-Wisp. That sucks. Knock will get rid of the Rotom. And then we see a Sneasler coming in, which I think is a Terra Captain. Into the Belly Bolt. Terra Grounds right away. Do we see a Terra Blast? We see a Swords Dance instead. Alright. Not bad. Terra Blast will just barely miss out on taking out the Belly Bolt. Into a Soak, which I guess fails if you're Terastallized. That's good information to know for you Soak users out there. See a Knock into the Weezing, getting rid of that Black Sludge and doing some good damage. Sacks off the Belly Bolt. Rocky Helmet. Chip. Chip is Chip. Chip is Chip. Ogre Pawn is now in. Using Spiky Shield. Icicle Crash is not going to be affected by the spikes. Icicle Crash misses into an Ivy Cudgel. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. These misses are costing Fabian King his Pokemon. Jirachi is in, potentially U-turning. Body slamming instead, trying to get the para, but will be hurt by the shield. Weezing is now in, probably getting sacked here. Lives, but gets paralyzed. And then Body Slam will take it out. Very, very Decent. We see Miss Magius in, so if this thing is choiced, we will need to switch, and we see a Tentacruel. Into a Nasty Plot. Do you get anything to hit this Tentacruel, I wonder? Shadow Ball, not doing a lot. So this thing is either Spadef or it's Assault Vest. Another Nasty Plot. Into a Flip Turn. Do we see Clefable? We see Jirachi instead, which is very interesting. Iron Head, trying to go for the flinches. Gets one. Then another Iron Head would do it. And then we'll probably see, what, a Tread's coming in? Yep, there it is. Iron Head still going for those flinches. I don't blame you. That's kind of what Jirachi does. High horsepower miss. I wonder why the high horsepower was here instead of Earthquake. I don't know if Fabian has like a Rillaboom or something. Just keep flicking that Iron Head. Keep getting them flinches. This Iron Treads is not having a good time. Oh, got a crit on that one. Ooh. Ooh. Can we break out? Are we able to break out? Oh, we did it. And lands. I mean, that was some good damage on the Treads. High horsepowers here. So, and then the Shuka helps. We see a D-Dance, pretty good. If that Zapdos is Scarf, then it's in trouble. Heat Crash is going to take out the Treads. We see not Iron Head. Freaking Ogerpon is in. Another D-Dance. Very interesting, considering Cudgel, even though it's not super effective, it's still going to do a lot. Spiky Shield. We see a Heat Crash. Does that kill it? It does kill it. Nicely done. Tentacruel is now in. Do we see a Spiky Shield? I don't know why. Into a Sludge Bomb. No poison. But the next one's going to take it out. Stomping Tantrum. Oh! Oh! That was on... Wow! Okay! Okay! For those of you who didn't catch that, Stomping Tantrum does more damage if your last move failed. So he Spiky Shielded intentionally to get the damage boost on Stomping Tantrum. That's pretty good. I like that a lot. Ivy Cudgel into a Moonblast. Lives. Crazy stuff. I don't know if the Zapdos is going to be enough to take this thing out, especially if there's a healing turn this turn. Yep, there's a Wish. I don't know if we're going to see a Protect here. There it is. And a Cudgel, which will not hit. I just don't know if the Clefable is going to be able to stall out like this or not without boosting itself, I think. See another Wish. I wonder if you're unaware. You probably are. And do a Cudgel again. How much PP does Wish have? 16 still? Okay, because if it was 8, this would be a hell of a lot worse. Protect fails. We see an Ivy Cudgel. I don't know why you clicked Protect again. Maybe that was a misclick. Another Protect. Or another Cudgel. This thing is living. This thing is living. But at this point, I think it's really just stalling out. Because, Ogerpon is definitely capable of just running this thing over. So we're probably just going to see more turns of wishing and protecting and wishing and protecting and wishing and protecting and probably not trying to hit. Never mind, it looks like there was a hit. Critical hit, Cudgel, into the Moonblast. And I don't think it's going to be enough because Zapdos is coming in and it's definitely within range of a Brave Bird. Definitely, for sure. That lefty's recovery is not going to save it. Brave Bird takes down the Clefable, and that is GG to David and Fabian King. The accuracy for Willow and for Icicle Crash fucked these two, dude. Jirachi being able to get the Serene Grace Iron Heads off against Treads and somebody else. I think it was the U, maybe. Miss Magius, or maybe it was the Belly Bolt. I'm not sure. But there was a lot of flinches there. So that might make up for it, but I don't know at the same time, because 2 pieces is pretty significant. Nice win by David. Nice try to Fabian King. This Stomping Tantrum Spiky Shield combo was hype. I loved that. Very nicely done. We're gonna go Emmy versus King Zeus. Unfortunately, Emmy had to drop. So we'll see how our new coach Michael does with the team that they crafted. I want to say we have Terra Water Palafin. Because all the rest of them are Stab. And I know Palafin is a pretty popular Terra captain. Emmy has brought Terra Water on the Enamorous, looks like. What are we looking at for leads? I mean, 4 out of the 6 Zeus has would be pretty decent leads. I mean, there's the Intimidate on the Lando. You can try to get up the Sticky Webs right away for Bombi. Palafin's form would be good, and if you want, maybe not Raging Bolt, actually, because I don't think you want to start that and start Thunderclapping. It doesn't make any sense, especially into a Volt Absorbing Kilo and the ground type there. I'm thinking it'll be... I think Emmy's probably going to lead Crook. So probably Crook Lando. Lando's in. And it's actually Bramblegast. Okay, I got half of it. I'll take it. We see the rocks going up first. Do we see a spin? We see Spike, actually. Okay. Into a strong U-turn. We see Corva's now in. Power Whip. Does not hit. Wouldn't have been good into the Corv anyway, unfortunately. See a spin. We probably see a Brave Bird here in response. See a U-turn, actually. Okay. Bramblegast gets to live another day. We see a Lando switch in again. Bramble now goes out to Kilowattrel. Into a U-turn. Who comes out now? Raging Bolt comes in. Protosynthesis for special attack, because of course it is. We see a U-turn here, maybe into Crook. And Namorous. Very interesting. Clicks Volt Switch right away. Very strong Volt Switch. The Wakan Berry saves it. We see Palafin. It's probably just going to go get its form. Terra Water, both. Moonblast just about takes out Palafin, but Flip Turn is going to be enough to take out the Enamorous. But now the Palafin is very weak. Hopefully this Corv has Defog. It probably does, though. Kilowattrel is now in, ready to click the Thunderbolt or Volt Switch or what have you. Alright, big Archalodon is in. We see an Air Slash. Very interesting choice. I don't know why that was that Air Slash. Switch out into Crook. Draco barely misses out. See Lando coming in, getting that attack drop, pretty good. Into an Earthquake, not so good. Bramblegast is now here, ready to click that spin, it looks like. Rock Tomb. Some nice speed control, pretty good under the team, if I'm honest. And looks like, oh, there is no hazards up. But now hazards can go up and stay up. Latios is now in. We see Corv. What does Latios want to do? See a Calm Mind. Okay. It doesn't get Mystical Fire anymore, which is some bullshit, but it is what it is. See another Calm Mind into a super effective U-turn. See where Bombi is now in, who's going to be able to outspeed and click Moonblast pretty handily. Stun Spores instead. Okay. See a Psychic Noise. It's going to do a lot. It's going to do all of it, actually. It's going to do every percent. Alright, now we see the Jet Punching Palafin is in. Who just Ice Punches instead because you got the para. That makes a lot of sense. The rest of these guys do not like Jet Punch. See a switch to Lando anyway. Very interesting because I think Palafin just kind of dies here. I feel like a Jet Punch would have been worth it. Feather Dance. I guess. I guess. Air Slashes again. Do we see a flinch? We don't. We see a Rock Tomb. Feather Dance is very interesting. I guess it let the Kilowattrel live for that long. So it wasn't the worst thing. It was just like, what? Big Entei is in. We see a Sacred Fire taking out the Landorus. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Bolt. There's Bolt. That's really the only thing that Zeus could really switch into or bring out. Sacred Fire missed into a Dragon Pulse. Very strong Dragon Pulse. Into another Sacred Fire. Gets the burn. The Pulse is going to be able to take it out. And I think this thing just kind of falls over the crook. Unless we see a Corv switch. See a Stone Edge just in case of Corv, maybe? I mean, you kind of have to, right? Which he does come in. See a Stone Edge, and we're probably going to see a Body Press. Why are we defogging? Why are we not killing the crook? Stone Edges again. Into a Brave Bird. Taking out the crook. And that is good game to Emmy, good game to Zeus. Stun Spore is pretty big. Feather Dance is interesting. I don't have too much else to say. I'm tired. Alright, time to get into the midnight games. We got Eiger versus Pivot Vortex. What do we see in here for leads or Terras rather? I don't know what the Terra is for Eiger because they all seem to be stab. I don't really know what his captains are. He might have Terra Darkrai. Then Pivot has Terra Roaring Moon and Terra Lapras. Poison and Bug respectively. Terra Bug on Lapras seems like it'd be pretty dang good. Bug is a great defensive Terra type to get into. Helps a grass weakness because it just gets rid of it. No longer weak to fighting. Probably could handle the Cleaver pretty. No, it can't because then it's still weak to rock. I don't know, man. What are we thinking for leads? I'm not sure that Terra Bug really helps here aside from the Darkrai. If you have Terra Blast or something. Pivot plays aggressively. So I would say Grimmsnarl, but I feel like he leads Lando or Iron Moth. I don't think he starts Roaring Moon. Hat kind of leads pretty decently into this team unless Pivot starts with Corv. I mean, Lando or Iron Moth clicking the Sludge Wave wouldn't be very fun, but Hatterene could definitely knock out the Iron Moth afterwards and at least do some good damage into Landorus. There's also Ting Lu lead, which would be pretty good. It's probably going to be Ting Lu, and I don't know. I think Grimmsnarl is the best lead, just to get up some screens. But he also might not be using screens. You see Hatterene, I should open my gut there, into Corv. Okay, so not the best for the hat. Just clicks the U-turn. That's fair enough. He probably thought he was going to switch. Lando is in, and we see Calm Mind. Sludge Wave has the Poison Resist Berry and does not get poisoned. We see a Mystical Fire. Lowering that special attack, that is a pretty nice. Do we see another Calm Mind here on the Hatterene? Stored Power actually almost takes out the Moth and the Switch. Sludge Wave is going to take out the Hatterene. I don't think Iron Moth has a way to recover, though. Tentacruel is now in. See a U-turn into who? Not Lando. Lapras, actually. Taking the water move pretty well with the Water Absorb, and you can't switch. It's a pretty good idea. Sludge Bomb gets the poison. We see Freeze Dry. Not doing too much damage into the Tentacruel. This thing is very bulky on the Spadef side. Freeze Dries again. Fishing for that freeze. Also just some good damage. Mirror Coat. That's some tech. That is some tech. We see a Sludge Bomb getting rid of this Lapras. And then Lando comes in ready to click the Earth Power. We see Drift Blim. Did Pivot click the Earth Power? He did not. He clicked U-turn instead. That's much better. Into the Iron Moth. Ready to just click the button. Fiery Dance does not get rid of the Drift Blim, which I didn't think it would because it's got like 200 HP or something. Gets rid of the Moth with the Air Slash. We see Roaring Moon coming in now with a booster speed. Clicks Knock Off. Gets rid of the Drift Blim's Grassy Seed. Why is he holding the Grassy Seed? Does Pivot have Rillaboom? He might. I don't think he brought Self-Grassy Terrain. I don't know. Tinglu is in, though. And now we see the Grimmsnarl. We see a Whirlwind. And Corv is now in. We see a U-turn into Grimmsnarl. Okay, so the chat does reveal that Pivot did have access to Rillaboom, and that's why there was a Grassy Seed. Pivot says, oh shit, I do have a Rillaboom. To be fair to him, he prepped in like a minute or something. Reflects up. See a Ruination. Just like my game, goes right through Reflect, goes right through screens, pretty decent. See a Spirit Break, not doing too much to the Tinglu, because it's bulky. Ruinations again, getting that chip on the Grimmsnarl. Going out to Tentacruel is going to take that Spirit Break a lot better. Maybe not a lot better, but takes it so that the Tinglu doesn't have to. Clicks the light screen. We're probably going to see, yep, we see a Sludge Bomb going through, but does not kill, thankfully, because of that light screen. I don't know why there's a Thunder Wave here. Maybe he was expecting a switch. Interesting. I probably would have just Spirit Broke. Lando is now in. It's ready to click the Earth Power, which will get rid of the Tentacruel through the Sugar Berry. What do we see from Iger? We see Darkrai is now in. Clicking Ice Beam, taking care of Lando through the screen. Darkrai is very powerful, so that makes sense. Roaring Moon is now in. Are we going to see a Terra and then a Dragon Dance or something? Oh, Tinglu's not going to care about that. Terra Poison's on the ground type. Not the best. Not the best. But it's also better to not be weak to the Ice Beam as well. See an Earthquake doing nothing. See a Whirlwind out into the Corv. Not a bad idea. Get it, just stalling up the screens. Are we going to see a Ruination here? We see a Brave Bird. Yep, there's a Ruination. Ships down the Corv. Tinglu is so good. Tinglu is so good. Brave Birds again into the Tinglu. We see the Ruination again. Into a Roost. Probably just another Ruination here. Rock Tomb, actually. Okay. Maybe he was trying to catch the Roaring Moon, but either way, Rock Tomb, good speed control. Getting rid of the rocks, not bad at all. Ruination again. I wouldn't be surprised if they got set back up, but also just clicking Ruination is fine as well. See a Stealth Rock, really trying to guarantee the kill on Roaring Moon, considering it's Terra Poison now. Clicks that Roost. I think that it's just kind of stalling at this point. Ruination. Into the Brave Bird doing some chip, but does the same amount of chip to itself. We see a Cleaver switch on a Roost. I don't know what Cleaver wants to do here. Clicks Swords Dance. Are you Barry? Clicks a Brave Bird. Maybe he's just bulky. Trailblaze. Okay, I mean, I think Corv takes it out. Doesn't, okay. I don't know what Cleaver wants to do here. Stone Axe will get rid of the Corv. That is Sharpness boosted stab. And it might be faster than Moon now. It is. Takes it out with a Stone Axe. And that is GG. I love seeing Cleaver do stuff. It's definitely a Pokemon that I forget exists until someone drafts it. One of those. Hopefully Pivot can secure a matchup where he has a solid time zone. But his first 2 weeks were against people on the other side of the world. And I guess that tripped him up pretty bad. Somehow. But Tingalu's very, very good. Tingalu's very, very good. This Hatterene missed out on some kills, but it did some crazy damage too, so it's fine. But yeah, great game here. Great work. Ratno Svingis. I'm just gonna say Ratno. I'm not saying that over and over again. Against Goat Dozo, aka LS. Terra Flying on King Gambit. And Terra Poison on Roaring Moon. Another Terra Poison. Another Terra Poison. Leads. Tusk leads pretty okay. It could have coverage for Moltres. It definitely has a way to hit Claude. There's a chance he leads Raikou and Volt switches just to see what's going on. But there's also a Urshifu. I think that's a Rapid Strike that he has. So I don't think he'd have a Single Strike and King Gambit on the same team. It doesn't make any sense. Could lead Urshifu Rapid. I'm going to predict Urshifu Rapid and Tusk. Although I don't think the Rapids, the Surging Strikes is really going to do too much to it. Maybe Claude and Tusk. I'll say that. Raikou, okay. Interesting. Wasn't expecting that. Into a straight up Roaring Moon. We're just going to get this Roaring Moon out of the way, huh? Immediately Terra Poisons. Very interesting. I don't think you needed to do that. Although I guess Aura Sphere's there. Never mind. Knocks off the Shuka Berry, which is pretty good for its Earthquake later. Knocks off King Gambit's Rocky Helmet. Not bad. We see Great Tusk. Pretty good switch into King Gambit. Terra Flying right off the rip into an Iron Head. So, and there's another Rocky Helmet. Okay. See Rocks here. Into a Terra Blast, doing some great damage into the Great Tusk. Stone Edge, predicting the Terra Flying. That's not bad. And another Terra Blast, and that is a Great Tusk getting KO'd. I was going to say a Great Tusk KO, but that doesn't make any sense. Ogerpon is in. We see a Rock Tomb getting rid of the King Gambit. We see Boots on the Moltres. U-turn on the Mew switch. That's pretty good. Spectrier is now in, and it can click Shadow Ball and do some crazy damage. We see a Will-O-Wisp instead, which is much better on the Roaring Moon switch. Very good. Way to go. Moltres is back and is getting its boots knocked off. What do we see next? An Outrage. I mean, he can roost that off pretty handily. The burn is very unfortunate. Claude is coming in. It's going to take this Outrage pretty good, I'm sure. 26. I don't think this thing is physically defensive. That seems like a lot of damage. T-Spikes. Unless the Mew is Defog, those are here to stay. And that seems to be the idea. The Claude is going to live to see another day. We see a Moltres switch and do an Outrage, which the Moltres will live because of the burn, so it can just handily roost up the damage. Not bad. Outrage again. Lives on 6 and roosts up. Very nice. Very nice. You gonna Hurricane this thing? I'm betting that we're gonna see another roost, which isn't bad. Yep. So now this Mew is toxicked, and the rest of the team members, aside from Gold, will be toxic too. Oh, and Roaring Moon. Encore, end of roost, I think. Yep. So you can now D-Dance up or whatever it is you want to do with this thing, huh? Going out to Moon instead. Oh, that's pretty good. Terra Poison, getting rid of the toxic spikes. That's good. I forgot that you can do that with the Terra Poison. Getting rid of the boots, pretty decent. And, getting rid of the Clodsire, it's even better. Now the Spectreer's in. Shadow Ball takes out the Roaring Moon, and we will see a Grimnay boost. Is it over? Ogerpon is in. If you're Terra, you can at least outspeed. Okay, we don't see that Terra. I don't remember if LS has Terra Moon. No, he's Terra Moon. He can't be Terra Ogerpon. Shadow Ball again, destroying the Azumarill. And that's just Spectreer, man. This thing can snowball if you let it. Pops the Mew with a crit. And then Golden Go is in. It's Balloon. It's not going to outspeed. It's not going to live either. Great game. Great job, Terratno. Very unfortunate for the burn here. I bet that your Rabbit, the Azumarill guy here, was not a huge power because that didn't look like he did too much. I'll have to scroll up here to see. 23% with Aqua Jet. Yeah, you were probably your Perish Trap set again. All right. Game done. 71 Shadows versus Dewey and his Reckless Rillabooms. Another Zoroark team. Powerful team on Dewey's end too. Terra fighting on Volcanion. I know that 71 Shadows has Terra fighting on Volcanion because we reviewed his team not too long ago. So I remember that much. Oh, I also think that Zoroark is Terra, and it's Terra Stellar, which is interesting. Terra Water on the backs. And I think just random mass Terras for the rest of them. Leads. I could see a Zoroark lead. I could also see a U lead the Overquill just to get up some hazards. I think I've seen Dewey lead backs before, but he might lead Great Tusk this time. I'm going to say Tusk and maybe Volcanion. Probably not though, because you outspeed it for sure. But Terra Fighting. If you want to pop that right away, I suppose. Volk versus Tusk. Let's just get that out of the way. Overquill instead. That makes more sense. Into Electros. Now this could be the Zoroark. Throat Chop, it's not the Zoroark. We see a U-turn here, getting in backs. We might see a D-Dance here, maybe a Scale Shot. We see Hitmontop coming in. Intimidate, so this thing is not the Zoroark. Dragon Dance is up. It's a good thing that the Intimidate happened, and we're just going to Intimidate cycle, it seems. Into Terra Water. Another D-Dance. So this thing is now +2 speed and just a regular-ass attack. I don't know what Shadows is going to be able to do here. See, Haze. Okay. I think I remember watching this match now, because the Haze is a pretty good bring. And Taunt. That's pretty good, too. But there's a Mental Herb that was probably meant for Glaive Rush. Maybe. Maybe you just predicted the Taunt, which is also pretty good. Earthquake barely misses out on the KO because of the hazing, I'm sure. Dragon Dance with the Taunt. So now this Overquill is pretty much gone. This Bax has a boost, and that's really all it needs. It's just one. Hitmontop instead to get rid of that attack raise into Earthquake, which is not doing too much. I just don't know really what you're going to be able to do into the Bax. See a switch into Overquill on the Golden Go. I think Gold's going to be able to kill this thing, though. Clicks Protect instead. We see a Throat Chop. I mean, Gold has access to, the Dazzling Gleam might do it, but I don't know. Throat Chop, another Tusk, not the best. Tusk is going to be able to Earthquake here. Could also just set up the rocks if it wants. See a Headlong Rush doing quite a bit to the Hitmontop. What do we see next? Another Headlong Rush getting rid of the Hitmontop, and Shadows' only way to get rid of hazards. And now if rocks go up, they stay. Thundy is here. We see an Electros. Psychic. Doing nothing, because that thing's probably AV. Overquill for the attack drop. The only Intimidator left is pretty weak, so Bax can come in. Could probably just quick Earthquake here and be okay. Yeah, just in case there was a taunt, and just in case he could live for some reason. Makes sense. Thundy is now in. He can click the electric move if he wants. The Electros is in. Takes that pretty handily. Psychic takes that too. Are we going to see a knockoff here? We're going to see a U-turn, actually. Slow pivot, but not bad at all. Into the Darkrai, which will be able to outspeed the Thundurus. And gets with a... Oh, barely misses out on the Ice Beam. Gets some good chip. Valiant could potentially clean this thing up. Ice Beam. Volcanion takes it pretty well. We see Vaporeon coming in. Flamethrower from Volcanion. Good switch on Dewey's end. See an Earth Power. Vaporeon just takes that again. Slow pivot into the Bax, who's ready to just click the Earthquake, maybe even click the Dragon Dance instead. This thing cannot be burned by Scald or anything. Earth Power takes it pretty well. Gets the Spadef drop. Terra Fighting into an Earth Power crit, getting rid of the Baxcalibur. Sometimes being greedy gets you just dead, I guess. Flamethrower into the Electros takes that down too. Darkrai is now in. It is 4 against 4. Thundy is in. Gonna get sacked to the Psychic here. I don't think we've seen Zoroark come out once. Volcanion is in. We see a Vaporeon switch, because it just makes sense. Flamethrower. Don't know why you did that. I don't think Darkrai is Terra or anything, yeah. Flamethrower again, we see a burn. Vaporeon's not going to care about that. Darkrai is now in. Dark Pulse kills the Zoroark, so this thing was the Zoroark. I don't know why Flamethrower, but it's fine, because regular Volcanion is in. We see Vaporeon. We see Flamethrower. Probably could be earth powering here instead of clicking flamethrower on the dedicated Volcanion switch in. Sometimes you gotta try to make plays, especially if you're down like this. Terra Blast, yeah, you should have been doing that probably. Baton passing into Darkrai. We will get all that HP back. A Darkrai is bulkier than it looks with its base 90 defenses, I think. Terra Blast will just take it out anyway. Volcanion is strong. Great Tusk is in. Does an Earthquake do it? You see Vaporeon switching in again instead. On a Steam Eruption, getting back that HP. Not bad play by Dewey here. Now what do we see? We see an Earth Power. Got a crit, but that's not enough. See a Wish, okay. Are we going to try to Wish up the Tusk? Maybe even a Protect here? Yep, that makes sense too. Making the Vaporeon nice and healthy to try to help against the Valiant later on. See a Flamethrower? I don't know why. I don't know why. Just in case a Gold Switch is in? Earth Power. Honestly, Earth Power is probably just fine enough. Are you, I guess trying to scout out a balloon? I don't know. I think just clicking that Earth Power is better. It's doing a shit ton more than a Flamethrower. So Vaporeon can just sit here while you're doing that. Tuska's in. Are we going to see another Steam Eruption? We're going to see Headlong Rush taking out the Tusk. Not taking out the Tusk, taking out the Volcanion. My bad. And then it's Valiant versus the rest of Dewey's team. Speed Booster on Val. Golden goes now in the Steel type. We see a Shadow Ball. Very good prediction there. But Golden Go seems to be bulky. Clicks Protect. Do we click Calm Mind in response? We click Shadow Ball instead. Okay, could be... I don't think your specs. Only doing half? Yeah, I don't think your specs at all. And then make it rain into the Valiant, and that is good game to these two. I think you were trying too hard to catch the Golden Go with your Flamethrower when this Vaporeon was just sitting here against the Volcanion. But we all learned something in these games. The last midnight match of the stream. Because there was only 4 games played. Gotta love Midnight Div. We have Stish versus Sound of Snow. Terra Electric on the Palafin. Terra Ice on the Electabuzz. And I think that's all. And then Snow has Terra Grass on the Dragonite. And I think that's his only Terra. Bundle's a great lead, I think. Because Freeze Dry catches both Meow and Palafin, which are what Stish would really want to lead in most matches. I don't know how you counteract a Bundle lead unless you're Meowscarada's Scarf. Or unless you try to catch it with Vacuum Wave Urshifu. Maybe disguising your Zoroark as Palafin or something. Getting off a strong Shadow Ball. You'd have to be Scarf though. Otherwise, the Freeze Dry will probably just either kill you or do a shit ton of damage to you. It's very hard to say. And if he does lead Zoroark, we won't know until later. I think it is going to be Bundle. Bundle seems like a great lead. God, Snow leads Bundle, and who the hell takes Palafin's place? He can't lead Palafin. I'm gonna hope that he got Scarf Meow and say it's Meow and Bundle. Good lord, I do not envy Stish here. Meow is in. This could be Zoroark too. We see a Iron Treads instead. We see U-turn. so this thing's probably Meow. Ursaluna's in. See Stealth Rock. It's going to be able to click the Earth Power, but then Rotom's here. Calm Minds instead, that's a good idea. We see Will-O-Wisp into a Blood Moon, taking out the Rotom with a crit. Very nice. Ursaluna is not going to care about the burn. D-Knight is in. Do we see a Terra right away? We see a Terra right away into the Palafin, but it's Dragon Dance, so you... Ooh, Mirror Herb. I don't know if you wanted to... Stish, you're not going to be able to do anything with baby Palafin, dude. You're not going to be able to do anything with baby Palafin. Terra Ice takes the Terra Blast. Do we see a Terra Blast in kind? We see a Thunder Wave instead. Then an E-Speed, not taking out the Electabuzz just yet, into a Volt Switch. It's gonna die to Rocks though. Meow is now in, ready to click the Triple Axle. See an E-Speed, not dying to the Triple Axle. Or not Triple Axle, not dying to the E-Speed. Oh, Weakness Policy. Is this enough though? It is not enough. Oh, you might just get E-Speed at the rest of the time, unless there's a Para. Unless there's a Para. Vacuum Wave, very good. Very good that you brought that. Serena is in. Ursaluna does not want to be in, so the Electabuzz sack happens into Trop Kick. Probably just doesn't want to miss the Power Whip. Vaporeon is now in against Ursaluna, which is actually Zoroark, and he probably could tell because this Ursaluna is not burned. Hyper Voice is doing quite a bit to the Vaporeon. Vaporeon goes down, but honestly it's fine because it really wasn't doing too much against the rest of Stitch's team anyway. Vaporeon, not Vaporeon, freaking Zoroark, Hyper Voice into the Iron Head. Does not take out the Treads. It was probably Specs. Specs Zoroark's pretty good. We see Serena coming in into the Blood Moon. Do we see a Trop Kick here? We see a Vacuum Wave into the Queenly Majesty, bro. What is happening? Trop Kick is going to be able to 2-hit KO here. Ursaluna is not going to be able to outspeed because of Queenly Majesty. Florges now against Bundle, who has not stepped out of its ball yet. Serena, who's here clicking Trop Kick, and the Iron Heading potentially guy here. But it seems like we're just going to stay in and click Trop Kick until we go down. And then I think Treads can just come in and clean up. Florges is not going to be able to outspeed. And that is the game. Trying to use Baby Palafin Mirror Herb was not the best. You could have just taken the L from having your Mirror Herb used up and move on. My opinion, the Zoroark killing some guys here was good for your diff. So there's that too, or there's that. Weakness Policy Dragonite was crazy. That was pretty crazy. Stitch was able to stop that though, but just barely. He was doing some craziness before that though. Vacuum Wave into Serena. Very interesting decision, but I think Stitch understands. He had some wild plays that just didn't work because of abilities and stuff, but I'm sure he knows that. I'm sure he knows that. We all have those games. Last midday match of the night. We have My Adorable versus Jeremy. What do we see here? Terra Flying on the Dragonite versus... Maya's got just random ass Terras on her mons too. I think it's Terra Ghost on the Greninja and Terra Ice on the top. I think that those two might be... No. Why would she have Terra Greninja? The thing's Protean. I don't know, man. I don't think Terra on a Protean mon is very good. You're going to be changing your type anyway. But I think it's Terra... It says Terra Ghost on Gren and Terra Ice on top. The rest of them are flying, so I'm assuming that that's just like, hey, these are my Terras. Because some people like to set all their non-Terra captains to like the same type. Just to make it easier for the other person, which is cool. For sure. Leads. Tink could probably lead here. I don't think Deoxys is going to lead here. We could see a lead at Gliscor, possibly. I'll just say Gliscor Lando, and we can go. Tinkaton, alright. Into a Zelf. I was thinking a Zelf, too, because that would be pretty good into the Gliscor if it packs the Ice Beam, which I think it gets. Switching right out into Lando. Probably doesn't have U-turn. We see a Knock getting rid of the lefties. Okay, we see Gliscor switching in. See a Taunt. Gliscor is going to get the Toxic Orb no matter what. See Alomomola switching in on the U-turn. With the Rocky Helmet. So who's going to come in? Maybe Rotom? Yeah, we see a Rotom switch. Alomomola is going to get right out of there into Iron Moth, who might be taking a Volt Switch. Ooh, takes a Leaf Storm instead. Volt Switch would have probably been better, but it's fine. Hitmontop comes in. It's to a Fiery Dance. Takes it pretty okay. He can threaten back with a big Earthquake. Psychic. Alright, that's it. Goodbye, Hitmontop. See Gren coming in. It can click the Water Shuriken if it wants. We see Alomomola. Pretty decent Gren answer. Rotom Mo comes in. Wait. Okay, so yeah, male. So this thing could be Battle Bond. You always want to make your Greninjas male. Because Battle Bond Gren is only male. See a flip turn, so you can catch your opponent off, or they'll have to think what your ability is. See a Volt Switch doing some decent damage to the Moth. Into Lando here. Does it live? Takes one Fiery Dance, but it's going to not take the next one. And out goes Lando. See a Zelf here. Does it try to Psychic? Tinkaton comes in with the balloon still. Psychics here. Now that Lando's gone, the balloon is pretty useless, and also you have the option to Pickpocket. We see a Taunt, which will stop the Thunder Wave. Zama Crown is in. What does Tink do? Clicks Knock. Won't affect this thing at all because the item cannot be removed. D-Knight is in now. We see a sub, so it might be sub Iron Press, perhaps. D-Knight, we see Iron Defense here. Into a Dragon Dance. Okay. Encores into Iron Defense. Encore's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It's so useful. Forces a switch, more or less. Gives a free Dragon Dance, which you can click Terra Blast into. Which is exactly what he does to get rid of the Rotom. Zamazenta's in, does not have the boost anymore. Is blasted by the Terra Blast. See Gren in. Do we see a Water Shuriken just to get off some chip? We don't. That is a dead Greninja. And then a Zelf, which is going to get blasted by the Terra Blast. Good work to Jeremy. The taunt was expert. The switches for Alomomola were good. I liked the Iron Moth. It did some nice work. I liked sub Iron Defense was cool. You let your guys get chipped down pretty good, but I mean against this team where it has two big explosive guys, annoying ass Tinkaton. We don't even know what this Deoxys was gonna do. So it makes sense that you'd want to be a little bit more careful against it, but big 6-0. Very well done. Very well done. Last game of the night is Deadpool versus Solunas. Everyone like the stream if you haven't already, please. Helps out the channel. Please click the sub if you would like to as well for this last game of the night. What do we see? What do we see? Terra's. Right, we need to do that first. Terra Fairy. Spectre is not a Terra captain. You can't fool me there. I don't know what your Terras are, Solunas. One might be Cleaver. I don't know. Maybe you have a Terra Ogerpon? Terra Fairy on the Latias for Solunas. Oh, Deadpool has this team. My bad. Solunas has the Terra Fairy on the Latias. And that looks to be all. My other cat's screaming at me now. Leads. Might be Grim and maybe Meow. Maybe Excadrill to try to just click the Iron Head into the Grim. Yeah, I think it's just going to be Meow and Grim. We're just going to say Meow and Grim. Cleaver instead, trying to get up the rocks with the Stone Axe, makes sense. And then there's Tentacruel, which I don't think really wants to take the Stone Axe, but clicks U-turn instead. Does some good damage there. Into the Rotom. We see a flip turn doing a lot. Doing a lot. We see Drill is now in with a Mold Breaker, so it can hit this thing with an Earthquake if it wants to. Does just that. Goodbye to Rotom. Goodbye to Rotom. Grim is now in. Probably going to click the Reflect here. Tentacruel. Yep, Reflect. Are we going to try to get the Sludge Bomb hit in? Poison Jab instead. So physical Tentacruel. Tentacruel. Very interesting. Do you have the Swords Dance too, I wonder? Clear Body. Into the Poison Jab again. Very nice. Not so much for Deadpool, but very expertly crafted by Solunas here. Firebird is here. We see a Tidy Up from the Mousehold family. And a Pop Bomb. Do you risk the burn? Yeah, you risk the burn here, so you were... That's very unfortunate, but I mean, if you have... You can hit up to 10 times. Gets the... Or no need for the Will-O-Wisp here, so... But I don't think Mousehold's going to be able to do anything else. Pop Bombs again. I don't even think 10 hits kills the Moltres, so it can get off a free roost. I mean, I guess if you crit a couple of times, you can, but... Yeah. Does Drill come in? Maybe just click the button. The button of Iron Head. See, Bite, not doing anything. Does flinch, though. There's that. There's the flinch. Bites again. I think the whole plan is just to try to flinch this guy down, and it seems to be working. No more Reflect. And you're not going to be able to get up your screens again. Population Bomb again. The Tentacruel is not as physically defensive, so I'm not surprised that it goes down. This thing is pretty fast. Meow is in. Clicks the clicks the Flower Trick. God damn it. So it must be Scarf because you outsped the +1 Mousehold. Into the Cleaver. Excadrill's now in. Do we see a U-turn probably? Yep, we see a U-turn. Pretty strong U-turn into the Drill. An Ogerpon is now here, ready to click the Cudgel button. Latias. Do we see a Swords Dance instead? Alright, Terra Grass Ogerpon, because it's the only kind of Terra can be. Into the U-turn. Very interesting. Cleaver is now here. Clicks Terra Fairy. U-turn does not kill because of the Terra. You see Spectre coming in. What does Latias want to do? Draco Meteor does quite a bit of damage to the Spec. I don't know that Draining Kiss is going to be able to kill. Does not. So do we see Shadow Ball? See another Draco. Lives it. on 15, and we'll be able to kill with the next Draining Kiss. We see Meow. Oh, no. That was... I guess that worked out. I was thinking, oh, if you get the Draining Kiss off here... Ogerpon is now in. It's probably going to outspeed this Meow. Gets off the Dark. No more Choice Band. Okay. This thing is banded. Gets rid of the Ogerpon here with another knockoff. Into the Cleaver. Latias is now in. Do we see a Stone Axe? We see a Close Combat. Alright. What do we see now? Probably Meow coming back in. Drill instead. Into the Iron Head, getting rid of the Cleaver right away, and now it's just a weak Spectrier. Can still outspeed a lot of stuff, but we see an Iron Head off of, I guess, a Scarf Drill. Interesting. Very good game to these guys. I think Solunas pretty much had it in the bag the entire time. He's making some good switches. He brought some nice prep. I would have not expected physical Tentacruel. Pretty good. He probably did have the Swords Dance on it, too. I think a Draining Kiss on the switch into Meow would have been huge for Spectrier, because that thing would have been damn near full. Who knows if the Meowscarada would have even lived to that. Pop Bomb getting the burn was unfortunate, but you should probably have been running the pads just in case. Yeah. Great job to Solunas. Very nice try to Deadpool. And that's going to do it for the stream. If you enjoyed, I'm not going to... I've said press the like and all that too much, I think, today. So I don't want to do it again, because I'll just feel gross. But if you're watching after the fact, I appreciate you coming out to watch it there too. I will see you guys for the Week 3 games. Take care of yourselves out.